break infrastructure to handle the future pandemic, COVID-related or not.
We have been able to put stockpiles all throughout the state, create redundancy in terms of our surveillance programs, testing protocols. If our gut is wrong or the modeling is wrong, we're prepared to move in real time.
Newsom says he would also spend money to fight misinformation about infectious diseases. Businesses in California don't have much time left to make COVID-19 changes in the workplace.
Starting tomorrow, employers must provide COVID-19 testing at no cost to employees that are exposed to the virus. Administered or administered will no longer be allowed. Employees are still required to wear masks indoors, and California has tightened its definition of what qualifies as a face covering. The new definition includes a surgical mask, medical procedure mask, a respirator, or a fabric mask with at least 2 layers. Deborah Mars, KFI News.
Well, a fire has destroyed 2 commercial buildings in San Bernardino County. The fire broke out yesterday afternoon. Fire was out by about 7:30. 2 power lines, though, also caught fire. There was a brief power outage in the area. One of the buildings was a former fire station. Law enforcement agencies in Southern California have taken more than 200 guns off the streets in the last 6 months.
These all involve felons in possession of firearms.
FBI LA Field Office Assistant Director Christy Johnson says the various cases resulted in 41 arrests. 37 of the guns were privately manufactured.
Commonly known as ghost guns.
DEA OC Field Office Assistant Director Sarah Stefik says the cartels and street gangs use violence to control territory.
They're buying the guns with the drugs, or vice versa.
2 operations yesterday focused on the Brownwood gang from Anaheim and the Pico Nuevo gang from Pico Rivera. At the FBI Field Office in Orange, Corbin Carson, KFI News.
And the iconic lead singer for the 60s girl group The Ronettes has died. Ronnie Spector sang hits like this one, Be My Baby. She also sang Walking in the Rain and Baby I Love You. Her family says Ronnie Spector died after a brief battle with cancer. She was 78. When we come back, we'll talk with ABC's Erin Kersey about the next step in the lawsuit against Britain's Prince Andrew from a woman who says she had sex with him when she was 17. This is all part of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal. Right now, let's say good morning to Dave Joseph. What's going on?
Teleportation! You've got the crash blocking the left lane, watch for slowing as you approach. Also, Claremont on the 10 west on that Boulevard, a stall reported there in the and you're looking at the road, the 134 eastbound. Orlando Road, to the left lane is shut down. That'll be closed until 6 a.m. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Dave Joseph.
506 on your wake-up call, KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Well, the person in charge of handling weapons on the set of the movie Rust has filed a suit against the production ammunition supplier. The lawyer for Hannah Gutierrez says the ammunition was misrepresented as only dummy bullets when it was also live ammo. Alec Baldwin was holding a gun during a rehearsal when it discharged, killing the cinematographer and wounding the director. The ammo dealer told ABC last month he did not sell live rounds to the production. Let's say good morning now to ABC's Erin Kersey. So, Erin, give us a little bit of background, if you would. So, a judge has decided that a lawsuit against Britain's Prince Andrew can go forward?
It can. Virginia Dupre had sued Prince Andrew, claiming that while she was being trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein, Prince Andrew abused her while she was underage. And that occurred, she said, in several locations in London, New York, and elsewhere. Prince Andrew has long denied it. But he argued in federal court here that he was protected from this kind of civil litigation from Virginia Dupre because of an earlier settlement that she had reached with Jeffrey Epstein. Prince Andrew said that it contained a clause that would have covered him from being sued. But the judge didn't see it that way, and so he ruled that Virginia Dupre's lawsuit would go forward. And it will now move into something of a new phase.
That is conference.
What's the prove his alibi.
And I think that the thing that I found interesting about this was that
Figure.
Andrew's argument was Jeffrey Epstein. The fact that you and Jeffrey Epstein made a deal makes it so that, sorry, anybody associated with Jeffrey Epstein can't be sued in this case. It was a weird, I know it wasn't an admission, but there was just some weird, like, oh yeah, you know, buddy, I don't know, it was a little too,
Well, he did want to have it both ways, didn't he? He wanted to say that this claim isn't true, but I could have sued Virginia Dufresne back in 2009 because I was an associate of Jeffrey Epstein. And I did because her settlement with him covered other potential defendants. So it was a little bit, you know, he wanted to have his case at 82. Maintaining his denial of wrong, while also saying, you know, there would have been cause for him to have been sued back then. That 2009 settlement agreement was ambiguous. And poorly drafted. There wasn't really any way to fully know whether the estate was somehow beneficial or not. So he said that on that basis, lawsuit cannot be dismissed.
the last Prince Andrew and his team can throw at the wall. This is it. This suit can go forward now.
Not foreclose the possibility of additional arguments, and Prince Andrew has also raised the possibility of bringing a dismissal claim based on that jurisdiction issue. Virginia Dufresne lives in Australia, and the Prince would like to argue that she could not then take advantage of federal court in New York in order to sue. I'm not sure that that's right or not. I'll leave that to a legal expert, but he may try to make that claim as well.
Yeah, it seems like, though, if the crime happened in New York, and you're right, I don't know the answer to this, but if it happened in New York, no matter where you were living after the crime happened, it would seem, though, that you could still be a part of that. But I guess that remains to be seen, right?
Well, right, and the Prince brought this up a couple of weeks ago. The judge said, we're not going to do this now, but he did not, again, foreclose the possibility of him making the argument in the future, which we fully expect him to do.
All right. Aaron, thank you for the update on everything. See you later.
Hey, crab roasted.
I knew it. I knew there was more spaghetti in that man's pot. I knew it. All right, let's get back to some of these stories coming out of the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The person in charge of handling weapons on the set of Rust has filed that lawsuit against the ammunition supplier, so we will see if Hannah Gutierrez, in fact, will be successful in that lawsuit.
Who's Amigara? These systems do not
causes a less severe illness.
and reduces the door's vibration.
Been hearing all along, and what I
And
guess is
reduces
now
the door's vibration.
the evidence behind it. So if you're thinking, oh, it sounds like old news, I think
Well,
what
that's
it is just putting a stamp on what they believe. So they studied
Well, I have your relative because you told me the
found
truth.
that the
The
median
fact
hospital
was
stay
the
for a
truth.
person with Omicron was a day and a half. Now that compared to a person with Delta, their median hospital stay was 5 days. None of the people with Omicron had to be put on a ventilator. California gun owners have a second chance to register a gun that is now illegal in the state. The registration period applies to people who bought so-called bullet button assault weapons before they became illegal in 2017. The bullet buttons make the guns easier to reload. House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy says he doesn't plan to cooperate with the investigation into the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. The committee investigating the attack has asked for voluntary interviews and records from McCarthy.
McCarthy says calling him and others to testify is an abuse of power, and the committee's only trying to hurt political opponents. The Republican congressional leader saying he's already made public statements and has nothing else to add.
ABC's Andy Field says the committee could issue a subpoena, and if McCarthy ignores that, he could face contempt of Congress charges. Governor Newsom says his plan to spend $14 billion on fighting homelessness has never been done before. Newsom was at a homeless camp in San Diego yesterday and says the past couple years have been hard on helping the homeless, especially with the pandemic.
And this policy where people started to pull back as it relates to outreach on the streets, tents and encampments. Unacceptable. Out of control.
Newsom says money will be spent over the next few years on intervention, mental health, housing, and the cleaning up of camps. Now, did you see the pictures yesterday? It felt, I'm not saying it was, I'm saying it felt a little forced. There he was in like cargo pants and he had a Cal Fire t-shirt on, had a ball cap, and there's the governor. One photo op with a shovel. Another photo op helping somebody move a mattress. Another photo op, he just looks kind of hot and sweaty. I thought to myself, I don't understand what the motivation is sometimes behind the PR team that, you know, are assigned to our politicians. Like, was that supposed to make us feel like he was more committed because he was gonna get in there and get dirty and move the stuff himself? I don't understand what the motivation is behind that. Do we not believe that he had this plan? He had to show us, he had to, you know, use props to prove to us that he really was, you know, going to be tough on fighting homelessness? It just seemed odd. It felt weird, I guess. 4 cities in Orange County will soon be able to choose a new power company with 3 rate plan options for cleaner energy. OC Power Authority board member Mike Posey says the state already has 23 community choice programs.
A third of power customers in the state buy from community choice energy aggregators. And within the next 3 years, we're going to see that number alone to more than half, maybe even 2/3.
Posey says the most expensive rate plan offers 100% renewable energy and that the cost will be about 7% more than the current rates. Consumers in Irvine, Huntington Beach, Fullerton, and Buena Park can also choose to stick with SoCal Edison. And Huntington Park, woo, has been ranked as the best city in the U.S. for tacos.
The latest by Rent.com mentions a few restaurants that support the city's rankings, including Avila's El Ranchito, which has been open for 55 years.
Back in 1966, we were one of the few Mexican restaurants.
Owner Margarita Avila says the restaurant uses the same recipes her mom did when the restaurant opened.
Everything is really made as she had done it when she had in her kitchen.
Those recipes are well guarded by the family, and only about a dozen people outside the family know the secrets behind her mom's style of cooking.
There's usually one at each of our locations. There's one chef who was trained by my mom in each of the locations. So they already know her style of what we call sazon. It's her way of cooking from the heart.
I was just happy to do the research. In Huntington Park, Blake Trolley, KFI News.
How in the world did he get that sweet assignment yesterday, huh? Who do you have pictures of, Blake? Come on now. All right, when we come back, we'll talk with ABC's Jim Ryan. Smart guns maybe headed to the U.S., and we talked about this a little bit yesterday. So it means that only a person designated to shoot that gun will actually be able to fire it. Sounds like a great safety feature, right? Well, not everybody is convinced, so we'll talk with Jim more about the actual kind of back and forth over smart guns in just a few minutes. From the Southern California Toyota Dealers Traffic Center, let's go places. Let's go back to the 710.
Southbound at Whittier Boulevard, you've got a crash now blocking all lanes. You're going to see some slowing as you approach. Also in Claremont on the 10 westbound at Indian Hill Boulevard. Still have that stall. Lanes fell off to the right shoulder. And a work zone still in effect in Glendale this morning. The 134 eastbound from San Fernando Road to the 2. The left lane is shut down. That'll be until 6 a.m. KFI in the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Dave Joseph.
This report is sponsored by California Paid Family Leave.
This is your moment. Take it. If you have an alien family member, Paid Family Leave offers up to 8 weeks of partial wage replacement to give you the time you need for the attention they need. Visit CaliforniaPaidFamilyLeave.com. Moments matter.
This is Chris Collinsworth. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings.
Russell Westbrook's shooting slump continues as the Lakers fall to the Kings. Westbrook finished the night with 8 points, shooting 2 for 14 from the field. Former NFL safety Eric Weddle coming out of retirement to join the Rams for the Super Bowl run. Weddle replaces Jordan Fuller, who suffered a season-ending injury. NFL viewership the highest since 2015. The league says the season's average came out to 17.1 million viewers. I'm Trey Bender.
Download the DraftKings app and use code SPORTS to get a free shot at millions of dollars up for grabs this week with your first deposit.
Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
What are you doing? Are you still running around your home changing water filters all over the house and lugging heavy salt bags from outdated water softeners? Clearly you haven't listened to me, because you wouldn't have to do that if you had a Life Source whole house water system. You could turn on any tap in your home and have clean filtered water coming out of every faucet. And a Life Source water system directly plugs into the plumbing. Their systems filter out the harsh chemicals and reduce hard water problems. And you can eliminate the cost and hassle of buying water. Plus, you will taste the difference when you drink and cook with this refreshing water. And your skin and hair are going to feel the difference when you shower with water without drying chemicals in it like chlorine. And the best part, like I said, no maintenance of any kind. There are no filters to change, no salt to add. Just install and enjoy quality water for over 10 years. And right now, Life Source Water is offering a free consultation and free installation, so you can call to speak with their professional service team. And I like there's no middleman. With Life Source Water, you get factory direct service, installation, and expertise. Call Life Source today at 800-334-5009, 800-334-5009, or visit LifeSourceWater.com. Life Source Water, taste and feel the difference.
1-877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your cars today. Donate online at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. Go get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your cars today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
With school back in session, there's plenty to worry about. CalHope can help with free COVID-19 emotional support. Call 833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Sure, dude. You can come over to my place to watch the playoffs. I have like hundreds of TVs and a 30-foot video wall. My place being Morocco, that is. And now, the top 5 reasons to visit Morocco. Number 5.
Yeah, hundreds of TVs and a 30-foot video wall at sidelines with the Wahlburgers. You're not dreaming. It's Morocco.
Number 4.
Cozy gift giveaway. Get a 6-piece Martech towel set when you earn 500 points on your reward card the 17th or 18th.
3.
Resolve to relax. Public massages at Safe Spa are especially priced this month.
And the number 2.
98 degrees, live January 28th. Get your tickets now.
And the number 1 reason.
Wipe and win. Get up to $100 cash or free slot play when you earn 500 points on your reward card Wednesday to Thursday.
Morongo Casino Resort and Spa. Morongo. Good times.
Celebrate the new year with a resolution you can easily achieve. Address hair loss and regrow your own natural hair with the same simple one-day treatment that I received from Advanced Hair. Get your free consultation, $250 off, and 250 free hair grafts at advancedhair.com. Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey, Culligan. I think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
Make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's a brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test with the local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
I don't think they're stupid. No, I think they know if they write it ambiguously, then they got a 50-50 shot in court of actually getting their way and releasing almost everybody, which is ultimately what they want. There's a lot of dangerous people left in these prisons, so they're going to have to be creative and probably basically lie to the voters. John and Ted, to get propositions passed to release more of them. Weekdays at 2 on KFI.
Oh, my windows down.
morning, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. ABC 7 is reporting an overnight inferno, as they're calling it. Either damaged or destroyed nearly 24 cars in Santa Clarita before LA County firefighters were able to get this thing under control. So a lot of families woke up and found their cars were total losses. We'll keep an eye on this story as it breaks and more information comes out. Arrests have been made in connection with a fatal armed robbery that took the life of an off-duty LAPD officer. 5 people were detained Tuesday, 4 of whom were arrested yesterday. Fernando Arroyo died Monday night following a shootout with 2 of the robbers in front of a home west of Southgate. A new study says the Omicron variant of COVID-19 causes a less severe illness than the Delta variant. The study of 69,000 Kaiser Permanente patients found the median hospital stay for a person with Omicron was a day and a half, compared to 5 days for a person with Delta. And the iconic lead singer for the 60s girl group The Ronettes has died. Ronnie Spector sang hits like Be My Baby, Walking in the Rain, and Baby I Love You. She was 78. Let's say good morning now to ABC's Jim Ryan. So, Jim, you know we were talking about this yesterday, these smart guns that might be headed to the U.S. And from a safety perspective, especially say that you're somebody who has kids or something, this means that, little Johnny can't accidentally get his hands on your gun and fire it, because this gun would only fire if it's in your hands. So it sounds like a good idea, right?
Right, yeah, and that's what the makers of these weapons, there are 2 main ones on the market, or potentially on the market. One's from a company called Lodestar, whose slogan is interesting, hold your own. Yes. Oh. Kind of a double entendre there. Hold your own. You hold your own gun, you hold your own property, I suppose, to protect yourself. But you're right, this is, I think, the driving force behind this, the continuing stories about children who get a hold of their parents' guns and either hurt themselves or someone else, or teenagers or others who take those guns into schools and open fire, killing people. I saw it in Oxford, Michigan last month, and every time that happens, there's this continued push to try to see something done about it. The founder of that company, Lodestar, says he's heard too many of these stories, and that's why he decided to try to get this gun to market. There are opponents to it, people who say that it starts to slip the slippery slope to dismantling the Second Amendment. One gun store owner in New Jersey said that he wanted to put this on his shelves, but started getting so many threats from people that he decided to drop it altogether. There's a second company called Smart Guns, which says its gun is being tested by different police departments, beta tested, with an eye toward eventually putting it out on the market.
If you were a gun shop owner and you decided you wanted to put a smart gun on the shelf, but you still had the option for regular guns on the shelf, and I assume that that's what that shop owner that you were talking about was willing to do. He wasn't just going to be a smart gun store, was he?
No, in fact, the NRA and other Second Amendment groups don't oppose this sort of technology in principle. They're concerned that it would eventually be required on guns. That's the one thing that they're concerned about. It's interesting technology, or the different sorts of technology involved here. One is a fingerprint reader. You put your finger in the firing position alongside the trigger, and it recognizes your fingerprint in microseconds. But just in a split second, it can tell that, yeah, you're the person who owns this gun. You're the one authorized to fire it. Now go ahead and shoot. Another one has a pin pad, the same gun, in fact, that has the fingerprint technology, because sometimes it doesn't work if the gun is wet. It has a tiny pin pad on it that to use as a backup to unlock that gun. It takes a little longer, of course, but they've been demonstrating this for some time, and now hope to put this on the market within the next year or 2 here in the country.
And the technology, would it be, is it specifically for, do you have to put the technology on a specific gun to make it work, or could this technology be transferred onto other guns, and that's what the opposition is?
No, there's not. I don't. As far as I know, there's no opportunity to retrofit existing guns to work with this kind of technology. It's a specific gun that is built with this immediate, with it intrinsic to the gun itself. This company, Lodestar, has one called the LS9. It's a 9mm that is called the most advanced 9mm pistol ever made. And it has this built-in, this sort of biometric or electronic recognition device that allows the owner to use it.
And what's the cost of this versus a regular gun?
It is a little more, obviously, with the added technology. The one from Smart Guns that is said to be under development or being beta tested by police departments would go for $17.95 for law enforcement agencies, $21.95 for civilians. The Smart Guns or the Loadworks gun is a little less expensive. It's $895. That's the LS9, the 9mm.
Which is a little more comparable to what a regular weapon would cost. But, all right, Jim, well, thank you so much for explaining all of that.
Yeah, thanks, Jim.
All right, see you later. That's ABC's Jim Ryan. I don't know if you have recently been to, a store that sells guns, whether it be, what am I trying to say? Like, not like an Army-Navy store, but, a Bass Pro Shopsy kind of place, something like that. A recreation kind of store. And I don't know if you've been recently, but oh my gosh, the prices of weapons are way up. And the demand is huge for them. And so these gun manufacturers, they know they can get the money for them. So I guess you could say it's price gouging. On the other hand, I guess it's supply and demand. But even just like if you go to a local retailer, a local, mom and pop kind of gun store, and the prices are crazy. We were in one, it had to be about a year ago, and we were just kind of chatting up the guy. We were literally waiting for Chinese food next door and decided just to go in and see what this store had. I know we're the weirdest people ever. So anyway, we walked in and we were just kind of chatting up the owner of the place, and he was saying that there was a weapon specifically that my husband had identified, and he's like, oh my gosh, that weapon's $800 now? And the guy said, yeah. And but like 2 months before that, it was going for like $600, and at $800, he said that weapon would be gone within the next couple of hours. That's how quickly the demand was going for these things. So what I'm saying is, even though these new smart guns might be $800 to $2,100, people are willing to pay money, man, for guns. It's crazy, but it doesn't seem to stop them, even as the prices go up. Oh, all right, I have this crazy story out of Connecticut. A 10th grade hockey player in Connecticut was killed in a collision with another player. And no, it's not because they went head-to-head, or no, it's not because, I don't know, some freak accident where he got whacked on the head with a stick or something like that. But they collided. The boy fell on the ice last week and was cut on the neck by the other player's skate. In front of all the other kids were there and whatever. I mean, it's horrible. What a horrible fluke accident. But can you imagine you're the other skater, you're the kid who skate cut the 10th grader, or you're the kids on the foot. How traumatized would you be? Not to mention, of course, the loss for the family, but oh my God, that's such a sad, crazy fluke story. Are set to be the headliners for Coachella this year. The music festival is scheduled for 2 weekends in April. Coachella has been canceled for the past couple of years because of COVID-19. All right, when we come back, we'll talk with ABC's crime and terrorism analyst Brad Garrett. Police shootings were down in 2021, but there are still calls for police reform, especially because homicides went up in 2021. So my question to him is, where's the balance in this? So how do you strike an effective balance with the community, and how can police do their jobs effectively but not harm the relationship with the community? Lots to chat about with Brad in just a few minutes. And the weirdest things that TSA found last year. I'll just say, what if the thing should be used to cut down trees only? But somebody thought that was a good idea to take it into an airport. Dave Joseph, I'm telling you, people are crazy.
I was going to say, sorry, but I didn't mean to bring that item into the airport, but stuck in my baggage.
I should have known it was you.
It was me. East LA, the 710 southbound at Whittier. Some good news, bad news here. A crash was blocking all lanes. It still has the 2 left lanes blocked. The 2 right have been reopened. You're stopped from the 60 Pomona Freeway. Claremont, 10 westbound at Indian Hill Boulevard. You still have a stall that's been moved to the right shoulder. And a Caltrans work zone in Glendale, 134 eastbound from San Fernando Road to the 2. The left lane is shut down there for another half an hour. KFI, the sky helps get you there faster. I'm Dave Joseph. Hey all, it's Dean Sharp. Are you looking to sell your home in 2022? Well, congratulations. That is a big deal. For most of us, it's the biggest deal of all. So let's make sure you get everything out of it that you can, yeah? Before you get ready to list, make sure you call the good folks at Revive. Revive's business is to maximize your home's sale value. How? By guiding you through market-critical upgrades before you sell. It's like flipping your own home, except Revive fronts the cost and guarantees results. Yeah, you heard that right. No money out of pocket and a higher selling price guaranteed. You can list higher and sell faster in just a few short weeks. In fact, the average homeowner sees $160K in additional profit. This is a no-brainer. Revive has created an easy, stress-free way to maximize your greatest asset, your home. So, are you thinking about selling? Then before you do anything, chat with an advisor at Revive. To get started, go to iloverevive.com. That's iloverevive.com.
SoCal weather from KFI. Mostly cloudy today with highs from the mid-60s to the low 70s. More clouds tomorrow, but we should see more sunshine later in the afternoon. We lead local. Live from the KFI 24-hour newsroom, I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee.
42 million Americans struggle with hunger, yet 35% of the food in this country is wasted. Those aren't just numbers. They're our neighbors, your daughter's friend from school, a family of 4 next door. The Kroger Company's Zero Hunger, Zero Waste Foundation is committed to making fresh food accessible to all by ensuring it never goes to waste. Together, we can help end hunger. Learn more at zerohungerzerowastefoundation.org.
As life returns to normal, our worries have not disappeared, but evolved. CalHope offers free COVID-19 emotional support. Call 1-833-317-4673 or live chat at calhope.org today.
Hey, it's Conway here. Guess what app is back? Yes, the app where you can make money when you buy gas. And of course, it's called Get Upside. I've been telling you about this app for the last year and a half, and collectively, all you Get Upsiders, you've earned $100 million. Wow! Get Upside is a free app, and it pays you every time you put gas in your car. You download the app, Get Upside, don't forget that promo code Conway, and then the very first time you use it, they're going to pay you up to 50 cents per gallon, and they'll pay you up to 25 cents a gallon every time you fill up after that. Inflation has been hitting all of us, and now it's super important to make money every time you pump gas, and you can do it with Get Upside. Promo code Conway. And by the way, these are big-name gas stations like Shell and BP. Download Get Upside, use promo code Conway, and start making cash today. Remember, the first time you use it, they're going to pay you up to 50 cents a gallon, and every time after that, they're going to pay you up to 25 cents a gallon. Get Upside, promo code Conway.
Call Jacob. Live and local.
KFI AM 640.
An iHeart radio station.
KFI AM 640 live everywhere on the iHeart Radio app. Such a voice. Such a voice for that time. I heard interesting statistics. Ronnie Spector, who sang this song, Be My Baby, she of course was the lead singer for the Ronettes in the 60s. The Ronettes were like crucial to bands like the Beatles. And in fact, the thing that I heard that was fascinating about the Ronettes, the Rolling Stones opened for the Ronettes. I had no idea. But anyway, Ronnie Spector died at the age of 78 after a brief battle with cancer. I'm Jennifer Jones-Lee. Another story we're watching in the KFI 24-hour newsroom. The person in charge of handling weapons on the set of Rust filed a lawsuit against the production's ammunition supplier. The lawyer for Hannah Gutierrez says the ammo was misrepresented as only dummy bullets when there were also live bullets in the ammo, but the ammo dealer told ABC last month he did not sell live rounds to the production. Let's say good morning now to ABC's crime and terrorism analyst, Brad Garrett. Brad, good morning. So let's start with the good news. Police shootings were down in 2021.
But they were, but the homicide rates have gone up. I mean, you had almost 400, I guess, last year, 390-something. You had 37, I think, police shootings involving a fatality of a citizen. That number's fairly high. So the question really is, can you have fewer overall police shootings across the country and a higher homicide rate, and expect that to change. In other words, the homicide rate number change if you can't do something about how the police are policing your community, and the answer is no, because that's where the problem to a certain extent lies.
I think that when we had the murder of George Floyd, when you looked at that case and you had all of a sudden in this movement to defund the police, it was like the pendulum swung far one direction, and now it's sort of swinging back the other direction. But the biggest question is, how do you effectively find that balance where police can do their job, but without that impact, the negative impact on the community?
Well, you can't do a lot about it in the short term. It's basically a building block. I mean, if you break down all of the diverse communities in Los Angeles and Los Angeles County, obviously you need different approaches or techniques in policing those communities from a language standpoint, from a cultural standpoint. And it becomes complicated, Jennifer, as you look at, let's say, X number of neighborhoods where a big chunk of your homicides occur. What is the police's relationship with that particular community? Are the police professional but proactive? Are they just reactive and really have a poor relationship with the community, which translates into informants won't work with you, people won't come forward and tell you or admit that they witnessed a shooting, whatever it might be. And it becomes tricky. I'm not suggesting any of that's easy to do. But that's really the key in reducing homicide numbers, is that you really have to have proactive police. And I do think in many jurisdictions, that's the problem.
I think that when you describe that, it takes me back to, I don't know, a 1950s type show where you would see the, cops roaming the street, and they knew everybody on the street and knew them by name and knew that, this kid was Mr. and Mrs. Smith's kid, whatever. And there was this connection, and there was this trust, I guess, that went back and forth. And I realized that those are, times gone by. At the same time, there was something, I think, quintessential in building that relationship between the officer and the beat and the community.
Oh, there is no doubt. Now, you have a real challenge, Jennifer, because Los Angeles is so spread out. And so, cars obviously drive what police do, and that is the reality. But to your point, how much time is really spent? You park your cruiser, you get out and walk, you talk to people, and you get to know the folks that will talk to you, and maybe even stop on the street and talk to people who won't talk to you, typically drug dealers, whoever, and just have a conversation with them. All of these things can come back to help you. It's like anytime you build a relationship with somebody, that's how you get what you need from that relationship later. Because that's the sort of human nature, right? Well, the same thing applies to police work. Obviously, you're in a much more adversarial, authoritarian sort of environment when it comes to sometimes with law enforcement. And so it makes it a bigger challenge, which also really goes to this, who to recruit to be police officers. And that is now becoming a challenge. I don't know if it's a problem in Los Angeles, but it's a problem in a lot of jurisdictions where they're down numbers because they can't get the recruits that they need to fill the open slots.
That's what I was thinking. There have got to be police officers right now listening to this program, pulling their hair out, saying, I would love to be able to park my cruiser and go talk to people in the neighborhood, but I have to do the job of 2 people or 3 people because my department is either underfunded or understaffed, whatever the case may be. But I know personally people who have said, it just seems like not the right time to want to be a police officer. Maybe they want to do it, but because of an acrimonious relationship with the community, or they feel like their hands are tied behind their back when it comes to things because you don't want to offend anybody and you want to do the right thing, but you want to do your job at the same time. So there are people who are saying, kind of turning away from the law enforcement career because I don't think that they feel like at this time they could do what they were, with the big dream of being a police officer, that maybe that's not the case anymore.
And that really goes down to how police are recruited, let's say in Los Angeles, in the city and the county, and what are they putting out to the community as to what they have to offer people to be a police officer? And be honest about, yes, it is challenging times. Yes, there is more accountability. There are body cameras. There are people being prosecuted, etc. But it's still such an important and exciting job, and you really have to convince people that it'll be okay if you come to our department. Yes, you may get into a reactive situation that gets very tense. You might end up shooting somebody, but that is part of the job. But the system is here to support you. You do your job correctly, we're going to be there for you. And again, those are just words, but you have to build. Basically, you're selling a product, just like you sell a dishwasher, in effect. And you have to convince people that it is a great job at the end of the day if you like policing. So that's really one of the keys. That doesn't get fixed in 5 minutes. That's something that really takes, a long period of time, but you have to be persistent.
And I wonder if there's a bit of a trickle-down effect. I mean, law enforcement and our district attorney in L.A. have, oh my gosh, I don't know that you've ever seen two sides of the spectrum so far apart, I feel like. And I think I would be frustrated if I was a cop in Los Angeles, knowing that my district attorney didn't necessarily agree with maybe like I go and arrest somebody, and because of the district attorney's policies, that person's not going to get punished the way that I would like for them to get punished. No judgment on either side, but what I'm saying is when you have that division, that's even got to be frustrating.
Oh, there is no doubt. And, does the prosecutor have that sort of discretion? He or she does. But you also need to be reasonable about, okay, is there a compromise here? Is there something in the middle to make this work? Which really goes to, obviously, upper police management working with the prosecutor that, yes, the prosecutor is elected, so he or she may have a particular agenda that they want to get in during their time in office. But to make the system work, it's all about compromise and talking to each other. And I don't know the particulars here. I've heard the story you just described to me, I've read about. But that really has to be fixed for the betterment of the community.
AA is outwards curve.
From your lips to Southern California's ears, man, I hope that happens sooner than later, Brad. Thank you so much.
West Street. So AE.
Take care.
West.
See you later.
Curves outwards. Outward curve. Downward curve.
Of this problem about us. So you go back to what happened with Georgia and the outcome of that and the protest and the calls for becoming of the police. Then you look at a city like Oakland, where things get out of control, to fund the police, but then when things do get out of control, to go, well, never mind, But then, what if your law enforcement side doesn't agree with your district attorney? Have you got to make a decision? So then what? There's another way of dealing with that again. It's hard. I would be very frustrated if I was a police officer knowing that either an arrest in America and trying to get some bad guy off the street might not be prosecuted the way that I would hope that it was prosecuted. It would also make me frustrated that a family who had a victim in a case, I got, the bad guy off the street, and I told that family, we're going to get this guy